Hey viewers, welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Bckwrdbbq, and this week we will be exploring Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Let's go down the rabbit hole. The film is based on a novel by Gary Wolfe called Who Censored Roger Rabbit. In it, the characters are not animated cartoon characters, but comic strip cartoon characters. And they actually speak with speech bubbles. They also have the ability to create doppels, which are doppelgangers that they use as stunt doubles. In the book, Roger is murdered, and his doppel that was created shortly before his murder actually goes to Eddie to hire him to solve the case.
Oh, Cleaver, sorry, I didn't see you. What's on your mind?
Get off the Roger Rabbit case. I got the wife pegged as the killer, and I'm an inch away from proving it. You keep...
Many of the props held by the cartoon characters are actual props held up by strings and robotics and various different effects to make them look more realistic.
For us at the time, we were looking for as much as possible how to get the real world connected with the animated world, and moving the props was key. And also key was having it done by puppeteers, because the puppeteers are used to creating the illusion of life out of unreal objects. George Gibbs had built a pretty sophisticated rig, which was exactly the same length as Baby Herman's arm, and it would go off to a controller off to the side where a human using his own arm would manipulate the small one.
The actors went through vigorous mime training to make sure it looked like they were actually interacting with the characters.
Might try to kill ya.
I can handle a Hollywood cream puff. I just don't want the odds to change. You cover my back.
How'd you do that? Because you hold your hand up like that and focus on it, then take it away. Immediately your eyes open up to focus, and it's obvious that you're not focused.
Unlike other traditionally animated films and other films that feature animation and live action together, Who Framed Roger Rabbit features a new technique developed by Industrial Light and Magic that involves multiple layers, including a highlight layer and a shadow layer. They are then composited together to make the character have a 3D look and make them look like they belong in that real-world environment. There's one scene in particular where Eddie Valiant hits his head on a lamp, causing it to swing around, causing the lights and shadows to move all around the room. This scene was particularly difficult for ILM and has spawned the industry term bumping the lamp.
Thank you, Mr. Valiant. I'll guard them with my life.
In early pencil tests, Roger Rabbit was actually voiced by Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens.
Thank you, Eddie.
Charles Fleischer, who played Roger Rabbit, would actually show up on set in a full Roger Rabbit costume to perform his lines.
Sort of over there, and I'm doing the scene here, and he's doing the voice there. And we're doing this really technically very difficult thing, and he starts improvising.
Please, Raoul, I can give you stars. Just touch the refrigerator on my head one more time.
They also utilized rubber versions of the characters so the actors had something the right size to interact with. Other people at the studio thought that Rabbit film had really bad special effects. There was a deleted scene in which several characters attended Acme's funeral, including Foghorn Leghorn, who performed the ceremony. In the original draft of the movie, Roger died at the end of the movie, and Sting actually wrote the song The Lazarus Heart for the ending of the movie, but when the ending was changed, the song was cut.
No! I've been to the road!
The dip is made out of 3 real-life paint thinners used in animation cells: turpentine, benzene, and acetone.
And door.
Maggie, I've got supper.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit actually contains at least 2 lines from a previous Robert Zemeckis film, Back to the Future.
I'm gonna ram him.
I'm gonna ram him.
I remember when this was all farmland as far as the eye could see. reaching as far as the eye can see.
As far as the eye can see was said by Christopher Lloyd in both movies. Robert Zemeckis actually reused the cart that was used for the Benny scenes in Back to the Future Part 3. When Michael J. Fox is being pulled by the horse, he is actually being dragged by the Benny cart. During the car chase, they actually utilized an animated stunt double for a few of the shots.
Smile, darn you, smile.
Smile, Darn Ya Smile came from a short film by the same name starring Foxy made by Warner Brothers. It was made by two former Disney employees. The short itself was a remake of Trolley Troubles, which was an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit short animated by Disney for Warner Brothers. The version in the film was recorded by the crew all doing their best cartoon character impressions. The television series Bonkers is actually based on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. However, the other studios would not let Disney utilize any of the characters created specifically for the film in a television version, therefore they utilized new characters taking place in Toontown. 3 animated shorts starring Roger, Jessica, and Baby Herman were also produced and released with various movies. Tummy Trouble was released with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Roller Coaster Rabbit was released with Dick Tracy, and Trail Mix-Up was released with A Far Off Place. In 2013, Disneyland Paris finally introduced Jessica as a walk-around character. She is wearing a mask and is quite creepy, and Gary Wolfe, the author of the book, described her as looking very much like a blow-up doll. At the time, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the most expensive film ever made. It was the highest budget of any film at the time, with $70 million. It also set the record for the longest credits, running for over 10 minutes. And they left out Kathleen Turner as the voice of Jessica Rabbit. It also featured 140 character cameos. Warner Brothers insisted that their 2 biggest stars got the same amount of screen time as Disney's biggest stars. Therefore, Donald and Daffy always share a scene together, and Mickey and Bugs always share a scene together. Donald Duck's dialogue is partly archive audio from his original voice actor Clarence Charles, and partly new dialogue from voice actor Tony Anselmo. Jessica Rabbit's breasts bounce in the opposite direction of a normal human. Toontown lies in the real-life location of the country's first freeway, the 110.
8 lanes of shimmering cement running from here to Pasadena.
There's a 7-book series about teenagers that are turned into holograms and must protect Disney World from the villains. And Judge Doom actually appears as a minor villain in the 7th book.
Doom is the essence of destruction. Doom is evil. Doom is everything that is evil.
There are several clues throughout the movie that Judge Doom is a toon, including the fact that he jumps back when the dip is spilt over. There are also a few other things put in to make his character look like a cartoon villain. Judge Doom does not blink while he is on screen, and his cape is always blowing in the wind, even when he's indoors. At one point, Judge Doom had a pet vulture named Voltaire. He also had a literal kangaroo court. There were supposed to be 7 different weasels, and they were supposed to be a reference to the 7 dwarves. All these characters were cut for budget reasons. However, his pet vulture Voltaire actually made it into some action figures. There is a lot of speculation about who Judge Doom really was. In the sequel comic book Resurrection of Doom, he is revealed to be named Baron Von Rotten. He's a villain who suffered a concussion and forgot that he was an actor and began to actually be a real villain. However, fans like to believe he is actually Packin Possum. Packin Possum is a character that appears in a poster in the background of a couple of the scenes. He is the only character to appear in a poster that does not appear elsewhere in the film. He has red eyes, and when Doom shows up to kill RK Maroon, the gun he is using lines up with the gun in the poster. However, because Baron Von Rotten has the ability to take on different appearances, he may very well still be Packin Possum. That's it for this episode. Here's a clue about the next episode. Be sure to leave a comment about what you think the episode will be about, and be sure to subscribe so you can find out for sure when I post. Until next time, may the Force be with you.